I do shoot sex scenes, man. This is a sex scene. It's a very sexual situation. This is called ball busting. It's going to be the next big thing in the adult entertainment industry. You guys said you were the guys. Let's find out.
Junk food supper.
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 Junk food
Junk
supper.
food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food supper.
Junk food
Welcome
supper.
to Junk Food Supper. This is the podcast where basically every week we get together and talk about wacky ass movies that you can find on the internet and in the movie shelves at the movie stores and at the library probably. I am Parker. Sean Byron is probably still in Japan or possibly on fire. So I am joined by Jackson Stewart, director of Beyond the Gates and other such things. Jackson, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay, considering like a large majority of my city just burned down. But yeah, haven't had to evacuate yet. That's nice, but yeah, pretty strange way to enter into the new year, you know.
It seems like it. I've been glued to the screen. My newspaper's been covering a lot of these fires.
Absolutely. How's Feld Dog? Where's he? He's like in the valley or something, right?
I don't know. He posted something earlier today. He was on top of some hills, and he said the fires are about 5 miles away, that he could see them. So I don't know where that is, but
yeah, I mean, he's that man's a treasure, and I love his book. So he best remain safe.
But yeah, by all means, it's like Feldman needs to be safe, and David Lynch needs to be safe. Those are the two guys we're looking out for.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's wild. Like Brian Yuzna, he's fairly close by to me, but he had to evacuate, and then thankfully his place was saved. But because they put that fire out really quickly. But yeah, he had to evacuate, and it's crazy this could happen to the director of Society and the producer of Necronomicon and Reanimator and all these things. It's very sad to see, but I'm glad he's safe and sound.
Yeah. How about you? Is it like gross? Are you getting ashed on and everything?
A little bit. I mean, it's like it's definitely like not ideal walking around outside. There was like some ash raining down this morning, but it seems like it's fine, and pretty much everyone's split town. So it's like super quiet over here. Like even more so than Christmas time. It's like I haven't heard any cars go by or anything like that. So it's surreal, dude. I mean, it's like I feel like I did like a JFD right around when the pandemic started, and it was like it feels a little bit like that again.
Yeah. Well, yeah, scary times. That quiet, that pandemic quiet is it's like disquieting. It's very scary, spooky.
Yeah, it's very spooky. Yeah, it's like it's getting into that Omega Man, I Am Legend territory.
You know, what else is going on with you? I hear you got that short film that's doing the rounds.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, what can you tell the kids about this?
Yeah, so I mean, basically, I went and did this short. It's played at Fright Fest and Beyond Fest and a few other places around the world. But yeah, we're in the process of like doing this anthology that's kind of going on. We shot the next segment of that, but this first one centers around like a haunted toy. I don't want to reveal what it is, but you know, people will eventually get a chance to see it. But yeah, basically we're like halfway through a feature, and then planning to finish the other two this year, provided the entire city doesn't burn down. But but yeah, basically, yeah, it's another thing kind of in the vein of Beyond the Gates, but a little more muscular, I would say. And it stars Jill Sholin from The Stepfather, who we know and love, and Jocelyn Donahue from House of the Devil, and my buddy Matt Bettinelli-Olpin from Radio Silence, who co-directed that Abigail movie and a couple of the Screams and Ready or Not. So it's a fun bunch of people. And yeah, it's and you've seen it.
I have, yeah. I was going to say it is like, if you liked Beyond the Gates, you will like this. Like, it has a lot of that same like sort of like spooky nostalgia and like cool lighting. Like a lot of the short reminded me of like the basement scene in Beyond the Gates with like the creepy lights and stuff like that. I liked it a great deal.
Oh, thank you. I love to hear you say those words. So, but yeah, we got the next one done, and there's a couple fun people in that you'll recognize. But yeah, I mean, otherwise it's mainly that, and then there should be something semi big that we're going to announce hopefully the next week or two, or maybe toward the end of the month, depending on how all this stuff shakes out. But something I think you will be excited by, which I can tell you about that off the air.
Okay, I like the sound of that. I like stuff that excites me specifically. So that's
most definitely.
That sounds good.
Yeah, but otherwise, been trying to catch this movie, The Brutalist. The Los Angeles fires are thwarting that at every turn. Trying to see some of these end of the year movies. Although I feel like there was like not that much of an awards push this season, other than with like The Substance and Conclave and a couple things. So yeah. I want to see The Brutalist. There's a few movies that are like on my list that I haven't seen yet. We're doing our junk food dinner top 5 movies in a couple of weeks with Kevin. Oh, hell yeah.
And so I got a few weeks, but I need to see The Brutalist because I love brutalist architecture. I'm a slut for it. And I still need to see Rebel Ridge, the Jeremy Saulnier movie.
Oh, that's good. I think you'll like that.
Yeah, I'm a slut for him too. I like his stuff. And I need to see this Red Rooms movie. People tell me I'm going to like that. So.
Oh yeah, I heard that's good. Yeah, I met Saulnier kind of recently at a couple events. He's a very nice man. Seemed very cool. I'm curious to see what his boy from Rebel Ridge does with Green Lantern. I'm hoping that will be good.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm not the biggest DC guy, but I like James Gunn mostly. Although I'm not in love with Creature Commandos, so I'm.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard sort of mixed things. I thought that was kind of a weird one to start with, but who knows? What'd you think of his Superman trailer?
Trailer looks good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not much to go on in there, but I mean, it looks Superman-y.
Mm-hmm.
I think the difference between Superman and Clark is pretty striking from what the trailer shows.
Oh yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah, it seems like it, and I mean, Superman's not snapping anybody's neck or wearing black, so I mean, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Classic stuff from the Man of Steel.
All
brutally murdering people in front of children.
Yeah.
He had no other choice. Yeah, that was a wild. God, it's crazy to think that was like 12 years ago. But I remember seeing that in the theater. I was like, "Wow, this movie feels real weird." So it goes.
Yeah, but yeah. So speaking of year-end movies, like I said, I'm holding my list for a couple of weeks when Kevin gets here and Sean gets here. But for the top of the show segment, we're going to run down your top 5 movies of 2024.
Oh, hell yeah.
So yeah, you want to dive into number 5?
Yeah, so before we start, I'm going to give a couple quick honorable mentions. One to my buddy Francis's movie, The Last Stop in Yuma County. It's a fabulous debut film. You guys should have him on here at some point. Kind of pretty cool. And then my buddy Calvin Reeder's movie, The A-Frame, both super, super tight. Just narrowly missed out in the top 5 slot. I wanted to call those out. But number 5, I put in the movie Beetlejuice, directed by Tim Burton, whom I feel like it had been several years since I really liked one of his movies. And this one I went in with super low expectations and was shocked at how much I liked it. I thought Keaton was fantastic. I loved Jenna Ortega in it. I loved her creepy boyfriend in it. I really just had like a great time watching it. And it was pretty much precisely as advertised. And it kind of felt to me like it was like a Beetlejuice they made in like the early 90s, but, with slightly more kind of flashy cameras and technology. But yeah, I was really very surprised how much I liked it. So I'm putting that in at my number 5 slot. And I thought they perfectly cast Justin Theroux. Winona Ryder is like probably the best she's been in decades on that. And yeah, and I mean, look, dude, Michael Keaton's the biggest boss of them all. I wish they'd turn the keys over to Tim Burton and let him do another Batman movie now. But that's up to James Gunn, I guess.
Yeah. I wonder how, because like, I mean, they're obvious, like Matt Reeves has his own Batman and like James Gunn is going to have a Batman. So like, they're obviously not afraid to do and the Joker, like, multiples. So yeah, I wonder if that's a possibility.
Yeah. Well, it was interesting too, because I mean, I don't know where else I could really spell this, but I saw our boy Corey Feldman's movie, The Birthday, over at the Draft House, and I didn't realize Andy Muschietti was doing the Q&A. And I asked him afterward. I was like, "Oh, are you? Was Keaton a variant, or was he the Tim Burton one in The Flash?" And he said he's in fact a variant and not the OG Tim Burton version. So who knows? He could come back. But
I'm glad you asked him about that, because I wondered about that all throughout The Flash. I was like, is this the real Batman? What's going on here? So I'm glad.
Well, he said it was like, he said there was like another ending they had, but he deliberately put it so there's like a few things that don't line up with Tim Burton's one to tell you it's like a different Batman. I can't remember. He said there was like something with like what people are wearing in Gotham City and stuff is different. But he made like a few choices to kind of like, delineate that between the Burton version and his Batman. But also he was super cool. Very nice guy. But yeah, that's my number 5. Shout out to my boy Keaton. So good times.
I like it. That's a good pick. I wasn't super in love with it, but there's a lot of stuff I liked about it. Like I like those. What's the name of the guy? Is it Bob? The guy?
Yes.
Multiples. I love that guy.
Yeah. Yeah, he was great. That's definitely like a Parker character for sure. Very fun.
I love him. I always love Jenna Ortega. I love what they did with Jeffrey Jones. I think that's like just the perfect way to skirt around.
Yeah, dude. No, they handled that like masterfully. It was, because I remember thinking, I'm like, how the hell are they going to do this without him? And then he gets spoiler, but he gets killed via claymation, which I thought was also very clever. But yeah, it was how they dealt with his ghost was pretty genius. So yeah, good on Tim Burton for that.
Yeah, I agree. What about your number 4 movie?
Number 4 is the movie Abigail, directed by Matt Benelli-Olpin and Tyler Gillette. It's kind of a riff on Dracula's Daughter, the Universal film from way back when, but basically the movie sort of centers around these high-end kidnappers who go to abduct this very wealthy person's kid, and they do that and, find out they got more than they bargained for, and she is in fact Dracula's daughter, and she's a vampire, and it's complete chaos. But yeah, it was I thought it was super fun. I thought the actors were great. I think Dan Stevens is just an acting treasure, and also a super nice man and a fan of John Carpenter, so big ups to him for that. And I was like really, really happy with pretty much every decision they made in it. I was like along for the ride. I thought it was super fun, very entertaining, and there's a great Danzig needle drop in it that I got a big kick out of, and the lead girl's great, and I thought it was like just a really nice contained film that had a little, it's like a little dash of Fright Night and a little bit of Reservoir Dogs, and a few other things in it, but it was super fun. Very glad I saw it in the theater when I did, and that's my number 4 slot.
Yeah, I agree. Dan Stevens is a treasure.
Mm-hmm.
I like him all the time. I liked all the cast in this. Angus Cloud is my main guy. R.I.P.
Oh, he was great, dude.
He was really good in it. I'm like in love with the show Euphoria, which he's featured prominently on.
Mm-hmm.
So I love him. The one girl whose name evades me, who was in like Freaky and Lisa Frankenstein.
Catherine Newton.
Yeah, she's really good in this. Really good cast.
Yeah,
that's a great cast.
Yeah, and Kevin Durant I thought was like pretty terrific too.
He's always good. He was really good in that Planet of the Apes movie too.
Oh yeah, I still have to watch that. I love these apes. I have a piece of Ape City that my friend Francis gave to me, that he picked up in I think it was Malibu or something. R.I.P. to there also.
Yeah. I was just gonna ask if I think Ape City is like still out there, but maybe not anymore after
I don't
this
know.
week.
It's because it was like he went hiking there because he found like a bunch of pieces of it, which is fucking insane to think it's like still there, like decades later. But yeah, he gave me one of them, and it was pretty rad. So yeah, hopefully Ape City made it through.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what about your number 3 movie?
Number 3 goes to Mike Mohan's Immaculate, which is the Sydney Sweeney Nun movie. And I went into this movie. I'm not a fan of religious horror movies by any stretch, other than, the OG Exorcist and Exorcist 3 and maybe a couple others. And I was like, man, I do not think this is going to be for me. But by the end of the movie, it went in a very surprising direction that I did not think, never would have imagined it would have gone into. And by the end of the film, I actually double fist pump cheered in the audience, which I don't remember ever doing at any point in my entire life. And I was like so utterly delighted during this movie because the last like 10 minutes of it just are pretty much unforgettable if you see it. And I was so impressed with how far they took it. I did not did not expect to see anything like this in a mainstream movie. It almost feels like it's more in line with a movie like Miss 45, the Abel Ferrara movie, than like a kind of like a snoozy sort of religious horror film. It was very shocking, and so I had a blast with that. But yeah, that is my number 3 of the year.
I love it. I love that you like this movie, because I like this movie a great deal too.
Oh yeah.
Sydney Sweeney's great. Speaking of Euphoria. And yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, the trailers and stuff made it seem like, it was like a Conjuring movie or something, just like a spooky ghost exorcist movie, especially because it came out so near that new Exorcist and stuff. And there was like a new Rosemary's Baby. Like, it seemed to be like one of those movies, and it kind of is for a while. But yeah, it takes that crazy, crazy swing.
Oh, totally. Well, yeah, because it was weird. It was like how close it was with First Omen. But yeah, I mean, that's
what I mean.
Well, no, but I mean, The Exorcist was not that far apart either, though, because I think that was like back in like October the previous year or something. But it was only like a 6-month difference. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, no, I just I thought Mohan just directed the hell out of it, like from the opening frame with like the girl fleeing the convent. I was so into it. It was so confidently directed, and it just felt super strong. I love Sydney Sweeney. I think she's delightful. And the music was great. It just it really just fired on all cylinders. I was super pleased with it, and it was such a pleasant surprise. But yeah, that is my number 3.
Cool. I like it. What's your number 2?
Well, you will love this one. This is like I don't know if this is actually kind of like a cheat or not. This is sort of a weird one. So my number 2 is Eugenio Mira's The Birthday, starring Corey Feldman.
That counts. It's getting its wide release. Its only release, I believe, this year. So that counts as a 2024 movie. So I definitely need to see it.
Yeah. So it was, I remember reading about this in Choreography, his memoirs, and he talked about it, and he basically says like the 3 best directors I've ever worked with was like Rob Reiner on Stand By Me, Richard Donner, and then Eugenio Mira. And he's like, I did this movie called The Birthday that is like the thing I'm like the most proud of that I've ever done acting wise. And, and he goes into a little bit of detail about it. And then he said like, oh, they didn't release it because the guy who financed it wanted the entire budget of the movie back for him to sell it. And they didn't get that. They got like kind of close to it. And the guy was just like, oh yeah, never mind. Like I'm just not going to bother selling it. And so this was back in 2004, but it played at a bunch of festivals like Sitges and Fantastic Fest. And he ended up finally relenting, 20 years later, and released it. And it's basically like if you took the nerd from the end of the John Hughes movie who ends up getting like the hot girl or the popular girl who's, out of his league, and what that would look like, 6 or 9 months later. And it's very, very effectively done. There's a lot of interesting nuance in it. And it's essentially this nerd goes to this like upper crust, like elite of society party, and does not fit in. The family doesn't like him. And, the girlfriend still likes him, but it's like, he's kind of contending with like these like pseudo bullies and a lot of other people that are very unpleasant. And he kind of uncovers like a conspiracy that's going on at that party that he can't tell her family about. Yeah, it's got a lot of like flavor of society in it, and Mr. Mira just knocked it out of the park on the directing on it. He later went on to do that movie Grand Piano with Elijah Wood and John Cusack. But yeah, I think you will love this movie. And I went and saw it at the Alamo Drafthouse. Corey, the director, and Andy Muschietti came out and did a Q&A for it. And yeah, it was really interesting. And Society was, in fact, a huge influence on it, but well worth watching. I really think you'll love it. I'm pretty sure it's on streaming now, but I'm super curious what you'll think of it.
Okay, then yeah, I did not realize it was out yet. I knew that the Blu-ray was coming out at some point, but yeah, I'll have to check that out. But yeah, I've been wanting to see this for a while, because like, you know, being a big Feldman head, like there's always whispers about like this lost Feldman movie that would never see the light of day. And then when I interviewed Feldman a couple years ago, after he witnessed me because of you,
Yep.
one of my questions was, you know, like what's your favorite role ever or something like that. And he was like, yo, it's this movie that nobody's ever seen and maybe nobody ever will see. It's the best thing I've ever done. And so I've been super hyped on it since then. And yeah, so I need to see it. Feldman's a wonderful interview, by the way. I love him.
Oh, absolutely. Well, I've said this for years. It was like, dude, his book would make an incredible movie or miniseries because it's, I don't know. I can't remember if you read it or not, but like the thing is just absolutely riveting. Like I couldn't put it down and like read it in like 2 days.
I have not yet. It's been sitting on my shelf.
You should get the audiobook of it because he narrates it, and it's you'll probably stay up all night listening to it. I think it's very much in the Parker wheelhouse.
I think I'll do that then. I got it. Like it's like many other things, it's a victim of me falling in love with ebooks and reading only things on Kindle. Mm-hmm. Like I think I got that book right around the time I got my Kindle, and now that I read things on Kindle, I can't read normal books anymore. It's just difficult to do. Like I just love my Kindle so much, so that's why I haven't read the real book of Corey Feldman's. Well,
you could. I mean, I'm sure you could get it on Kindle too if you want. But yeah. It never hurts to put some dough in Feld Dog's pocket, man. It's like that's money I always think is very well spent.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, speaking of, it's also got that Dream a Little Dream Blu-ray, which is pretty damn good. But yeah, so that is my number 2. And should we go into number 1?
I would love to hear this number 1.
The number 1 coming in very strong was The Substance, directed by Coralie Fargeat, which I just absolutely fell in love with watching it. I thought Demi Moore was phenomenal. It's maybe like the best she's ever been in. And it was so cool to see her come back, as an older actress and just like annihilate all your perceptions of her and what she's willing to do as an actor. And it did an incredibly brave performance. She's fantastic, really funny. She's amazing in it. Margaret Qualley is also great. And then Dennis Quaid is also phenomenal in the movie. I mean, he was one of the bigger surprises in it. He apparently took over for Ray Liotta, who filmed some of it and I think died during production. And they had to recast it and reshoot it. But yeah, the movie is basically about ageism in Hollywood and, a lot of other stuff in line with that. And it is so funny. It's like there's a lot of another movie with a lot of society in it that was really, really impressed by. And it's just so funny. And like she did not have any hesitation or fear with turning that movie into what it should be. And it's like there's no kind of like condescending message to it that's like talking down to the audience to like let you know what it's really about. It just plays it in a very intelligent, masterful, and delicate way. And I just could not believe how good it was. I was like laughing hysterically in some parts, and I thought it was completely disgusting. In others, there was actually a woman who fainted in my screening at the Alamo Draft House, which I've only ever seen happen one other time with 127 Hours when James Franco was cutting his arm off. But yeah, I mean, it was like a very, very powerful, very funny, effective movie. There was a little bit of Reanimator in it. There's a little bit of Psycho. There's a little bit of The Shining. It's just
I think that
prepared by a master chef of cinema.
Yeah, I think at one point they even play the Vertigo theme during a
yes, and it's
scene. Yeah.
So funny when they do it.
Yeah.
Totally expertly done. I'm normally like very against like obvious needle drops, but it was hilarious, the usage of that. And yeah, I mean, Dennis Quaid's character, I could not get him out of my head for weeks afterward. And I thought it was a blast.
Yeah, I like this movie. I'm not as in love with it as everybody else, but I like it a great deal nonetheless. It really feels like a 2.5 hour long Tales from the Crypt episode, which is like like that's the aesthetic you want in life.
Absolutely, that's my jam.
Just go hard on those EC comic stories, and this does. I'm glad that you say that it's funny because my biggest source of anger the last couple of weeks is people being mad that it won for comedy at the Golden Globes because it's a comedy. Like it's just straight up a comedy movie. I don't understand how you could be mad about this.
Yeah. I mean, no, it's absolutely. It's like, I mean, just because it's disgusting, I think maybe they want to classify it as straight horror, but I mean, it's pretty much a straight comedy, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not like trying to be obtuse about it. There's obviously like horror elements and there's like sci-fi elements and there's a lot of other stuff. But I mean, it's a comedy the same way that like Tales from the Crypt is, or
absolutely.
Society, or a Reanimator. Like it's that kind of, it's not like funny, haha, silly comedy, but it's like that really super like dark comedy.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's like, it really could almost just be, I love that you pointed that out, but it's like, it could be a Tales from the Crypt presents The Substance and, throw John Cassier in there as the Crypt Keeper narrating the front and back. And it's like, it would absolutely work as a Tales from the Crypt movie.
Yeah. It's like a very simple sort of like morality kind of like Faustian bargain type of story that you'd get in a lot of EC comics.
Yes, absolutely. But yeah, no, that one that was just a massive surprise to me, and I adored the movie. But yeah, those are my top 5 for 2024. There were a few others that I was kind of picking and choosing, but yeah, I felt like I saw a pretty solid number of great movies this year, which I was happy about. So those are my mains, though.
Okay. We didn't talk about this beforehand, so I'm gotcha-ing. I'm doing gotcha journalism with you, but do you have a worst movie of the year? Was there one you hated?
Oh, absolutely. It's like, I normally would never say this, but Joker Folie à Deux by a very wide margin.
Oh my. Okay.
Was shocked at how angry that movie made me. And I didn't like, I saw the first one and I thought it was good. And like, I thought Joaquin was good. And I love hated the Todd Phillips movie, but it was a movie I don't think I've ever felt like more disconnected from like a transgressive film in my entire life than watching it. And I just, I love Joaquin. I think he's great. I thought Lady Gaga was good. And, in Star is Born, and I've definitely liked a bunch of Todd Phillips stuff, but yeah, I mean, that is easily my worst of the year, and I'm sorry if you liked it. I'm glad you enjoyed it, whoever's listening to this, but yeah, it was really not for me. So but I wish all parties well going forward.
I kind of liked it, to be honest with you.
Oh, you did? See, I've met some people I really trust that liked it, and I'm very interested in this. I thought I would like it because everyone hated it. and like usually I'm like the biggest mark in the world for that, where it's like I hear the thing's the worst movie of the year and it ends up being probably my number one, like Halloween Ends, you know? But which actually, if that was out this year, that probably would be, or last year, that probably would be my number one still. But yeah, but you know, the Folie à Deux, I don't know what to make of it. But did you enjoy the musical numbers?
I wish there was more of them. Like I felt that the musical aspect was a little bit underbaked, despite, you know, it being a musical. Like I would have liked more, because there's only like 5 or maybe 5 in there, maybe 6, and only like 2 really big ones, like the courtroom and like the variety show are like the 2 big ones, and the rest are like kind of understated. So I would have liked more musical numbers in there.
Here's my question to you: what is your favorite musical ever?
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd have to consult my Letterboxd. I feel like my heart wants to say Phantom of the Paradise.
Yeah, that's mine by a country mile.
Yeah, that's a good one. I feel like I've probably watched Cannibal the musical the most out of any musical though, so maybe that one, but I like the weird ones like that. I like some of the normal ones. I really like The Greatest Showman. I think that movie is tremendously good.
Have you seen The Apple?
Yes, we did it on Junk Food Dinner number 1.
Oh, holy shit. Wow. Oh, yeah. Dude, way back.
I think our number 2, it was early on. It was one of the first ones.
I've definitely seen it on the website where I can't remember what it was paired with. I want to say it was something with a red cover. That I'm spacing. Maybe. But yeah, no, The Apple, I remember thoroughly enjoying that insane movie.
Yeah, I need to see it again. It's been 15 years now since I've seen it, whenever we did it on the show. But I think disgraced choreographer Nigel Lithgow did the choreography, and I'm a big fan of his work as a dancer and as a dance enthusiast.
Dude, I love calling people disgraced. It's like a Neil Breen classic right there.
He did some things that were immoral and corrupt.
Oh, he did?
He did. He's been disgraced.
Oh, I see this now. I just Googled him.
He's problematic.
Private emails. Tisk.
I should see that.
Yeah. But, well, geez, he's done a lot of dancing films. Or... no, maybe not. Well, anyway, good times. So yeah, those are my picks. I can't think of anything else that enraged me as much as Joker this year, but that's my pick for worst of.
That's understandable. It is. I mean, it is a movie that like tells you that if you liked the first one at all, that you're a piece of crap. So I can imagine.
Well, to me, I kind of like that idea. It was like I think that's really interesting because it's like you can get into like a kind of Gremlins 2-ish area. Mm-hmm. And when I heard that, I was like, oh wow, like that's so brave. Like what an interesting choice. And then when I saw what they did with it, I was just like, what? Like it's like it felt like it was like well, whatever. I am done beating up on the movie, but it's yeah, it was just not for me. I do love a transgressive film, but so it goes.
Well, all right. That wraps it up for the first segment. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to talk about the movie Mope. So stick around.
I'm surprised you haven't heard about that. They call us the Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan of porn. Yeah, we're actually thinking about doing bigger stuff. Me and my brother, thinking about it for the right direction.
You guys are brothers too. It's incredible.
Every woman wants what a porn star can give. Stability, your listener, greatest lay on earth. Think what you and I could do if we teamed up. We could be on those DVD covers together. Oh, you want to be a star with me?
I can't be a star. There aren't good roles for Asian American men.
You're a famous rapper. You found this Japanese tourist.
This is comedy. Stereotypes are funny.
You could be the Chinese Bruce Lee of porn. You can and will be a star.
We're looking for some actors who are pretty ballsy.
We'll do whatever it takes to get in this business.
You'll do anything I ask.
We do things no other men in this business will do.
What do they call you guys? Mopes? You're basically extras.
I'm tired of pretending this is all I am. You just can get to the balls.
It's not in the cards for us to be the guys on video covers.
We weren't trying hard enough before. We didn't want it bad enough, but that's all changing right here, right now. Well, you don't love what you do? You don't want to share that with the world?
I suck at the thing I love to do.
You guys said you were the Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker of porn.
Armpit sniffer 16. That's on me.
You are the most unprofessional, stupid mope.
Never call me that.
Tragic end for a porn star wanted for killing a colleague with a samurai sword.
Police say the suspect went on a rampage Tuesday at a Van Nuys porn studio and killed a
His name's
coworker.
Steve Driver in terms of porn circles, and no, it wasn't a household name. The pair was described in one report as the Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker of porn.
Do you know how I know you're a mope? Because you don't know you're a mope.
Welcome back to Junk Food Supper. The movie we're talking about tonight is Mope from 2019, directed by Lucas Heyne. This movie, if you have not watched along already, can be found on Amazon Prime, Hoopla, Plex, Roku, the Roku channel, Tubi. It's out there. You can also rent it at all the normal spots. And this is something I would suggest because I love this movie. Although, you are the one who picked this, Jackson.
Yes.
Before we get into the plot and everything like that, why is it that you wanted to do this movie? In addition to, of course, it being Happy Nude Year, and so you had to pick movies with boobies.
This was a perfect choice for Happy Nude Year. No, so I saw this. I think it must have been very end of 2019, possibly very beginning of 2020. But my buddy Matt, I met him at a party, and I was like, "Oh, what did you watch at Sundance this year?" And and he's like, "Oh, dude, this movie Mope, it's fucking amazing." And then I was like, "Oh, really?" And he was like, "Yeah, I can connect you to the director. He'll get you a link." And I was like, "Okay, cool." And he told me about it, and he was like, "Yeah, it's about the these two very low end porn performers in Van Nuys. It's based on a real story. There's a true crime element which we can go into in the plot, but I turned it on, and then I was immediately hooked. But it's a movie I've thought about for several years. We can go into why, but I've recommended it to a lot of people, and it's been something where it's the majority of them I've shown to, they're like, how is this not a huge movie? And we can talk about it in a more nuanced way once we go into the plot. But yeah, it's very funny, very tragic, very disturbing, very disgusting, and it's a very strong debut film.
I agree. So to get into the plot, like you said, this is there are some true crime elements. This is based on a true story of a guy named Steve Driver, who was a porn star. This was 10 years ago, 15 years ago or something.
Yep.
Who, I guess, spoiler alert, even though this is based on a true story that, that actually happened, so it's hard to spoil. But
yeah.
So I kind of didn't remember this, and it was very shocking to me. So maybe I don't want to spoil it, but it was based on a guy who did some crimes in real life, I guess. We'll spoil it later on. We'll get to
we'll
spoilers
spoil
later.
it when we get into the plot, I think is the move.
Yeah, but go watch it because it's good. But based on this real guy who the movie stays really faithful to. I was shocked at a lot of the stuff that happens in this movie, and then I read on Wikipedia and some of the stories that it was actually true. Him and his friend, he's played by Nathan Stewart-Jarrett, who's phenomenal in this movie.
Yes.
his friend, let's see, what's the guy's name? What's his friend's name?
Tom Dong. Yep.
Tom Dong. They meet at a bukkake shoot. They're two actors, porn actors. They meet and they become really good friends. They decide to like move in together and go whole hog, so to speak, at being porn stars together. And like Steve is like really passionate about it. He gives him like this very like impassioned speech about why they need to team up and follow their dreams. And they meet up with Ultima Video, ran by a guy named Eric, played by Brian Husky.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, and you've seen this guy. He's in like everything.
He's in like The Disaster Artist. He's like a really well-known character actor. He's in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, he's in Superbad, the Neighbors movies, Bob's Burgers, bunch of stuff. He's one of those guys you know instantly. He hires them to live in their like studio space, which is like a, you know, like all the other actors live there too. And like, in order to get to doing pornography, you also have to do like the housework and the chores around the little studio. And also the porn they make is like weirdo porn. Like Steve and Tom Dong have to get like kicked in the nuts and they have to like smell, which is just a wonderful scene. The way that their boss like teaches them how to do it.
Yeah.
And like they have to like do weird foot stuff and they have to like smell ladies' armpits. And it results in like this great like montage once they do this, where it's like, you know, like you know, like in the Boogie Nights, like this is compared to Boogie Nights a lot on like Letterboxd and stuff, but like in the Boogie Nights montage where Dirk Diggler like hits it big and he's living his dream, it's like him winning awards and having sex with Heather Graham and like driving fast cars. And here the montage of these guys living their dream is like smelling ladies' armpits and getting peed on and then like cleaning cum out of like blow up dolls. And it's like just so low level of your dreams that it's endearing and sad and funny and absurd all at the same time.
Yeah.
So they live their dreams, and then it you know, it's like the more kind of like super low level fame that these guys get, the more Steve wants, and he really pushes Tom to like leave and like so that they can do their own thing. And it I don't know, like kind of it puts a wedge between them, and I guess we'll talk about more later. But I did want to mention that this movie instantly won me over. Like I texted you like 20 minutes into this movie and I was like, hey, we got to do this movie. Like, you know, cause you mentioned like that you didn't want to necessarily do the movie if I hated it and stuff. So I texted you a little bit into it and I was like, I'm in. Like, yeah. I watched 20 minutes. I did a preview. I'm in.
Yes.
And that was the part where Steve is like telling Tom about like their dreams and their destiny and everything like this. And he says, this whole valley is a butthole just waiting to get fucked, which is a funny line, but it's also a Scarface reference. Yeah. So anytime you're making De Palma references, I'm in.
Absolutely.
And many times during this movie, I don't know if it's the real music or if it's like a sound-alike music, but they play the music or very similar music from Body Double whenever Craig Wasson is watching Melanie Griffith strip in her pornos. And so it had me. It was like, all right, if you're doing these kind of Brian De Palma references, I'm in.
I can't remember if he licensed it or not, because like the cut of it I saw initially, it did have the De Palma body, or you know that it's not Angelo Badalamenti. What the hell is the dude's name? You know who
I should know this,
about.
but
I
know who you're
too.
talking about.
But yeah, so Pino Donaggio. It had the Pino Donaggio body double telescope theme over it, and I feel like he I can't remember if he licensed it or not, but yeah, it's pretty damn close. But yeah, it's just like all the Venn diagram of references were all very on point, and yeah, that line is hysterical. And there's a lot of lines in the movie that have stayed in my memory. But yeah, we can keep going with the plot.
Okay, and then yeah, so now we're gonna get into spoilers a bit. But so yeah, eventually, like Steve, he kind of starts to become a little unraveled, like kind of wanting more and more fame and wanting these guys to go off and do their own thing. He also gets involved with a girl named Tampa, to tragic results. At one point, he takes Tampa and Tom to meet his parents, who, like, the whole movie, he keeps talking about, hey, we need to, hook up with my dad because he's going to fund our own studio. He's going to invest in us. And and also the whole time he's like sending his dad these emails where he's like just telling him the ins and outs of this porn that he's doing. And he sends him like pornographic pictures of himself to prove to his dad he has a girlfriend. And it's like all this weird stuff. So then when they meet at dinner, like his dad is like having none of it. He's like, no, I'm not investing in you. Like, you need to come home. This is like sad what you're doing. His dad's played by the great Clayton Rohner, by the way, from April Fool's Day and Just One of the Guys.
Wait, in which one?
And Just One of the Guys.
Oh, hell yeah.
He's like the love interest guy. And he's a silver fox. He's a very good-looking man in this. And like this is like a super heartbreaking scene because this is like the scene where we like kind of really get how. And I mean, it's funny too. It's a very funny scene. Like this movie does really well at handling the tones of like being very funny and then being very sad, like simultaneously. And this is a really good scene for that. Because we just see like kind of how, I mean, a little bit delusional Steve is, and kind of how disappointing, he is to his parents. And like, there's a really great moment where he introduces his friends to his mom. And, he's like, hey, this is my mom, but she's not my real mom. I'm adopted. And the look on his mom's face is so heartbreaking. And like the movie doesn't make a big deal out of it. Like it kind of moves on, but it's like that moment is so sad. Like the fact that he has to like point that out. Like, I don't know. It's like, and it doesn't, I don't know. It's like, and he doesn't think anything of it. Like he thinks that's like a normal thing. And that's like kind of encompasses who Steve is in this movie a little bit, but.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So then, like that kind of forms cracks in his relationship with Tom, and it all culminates in this incredibly funny and tragic scene where like they do cuckold porn, which is another reason this movie is up my alley.
I knew you would like it for that. It's the cuckold scene.
Yeah. And so they're punishing Steve for like kind of being a fuck up and like screwing up a bunch of stuff. And he has to be the cuckold while everybody else has sex with the porn actress, who in this case is Tampa, because he brought her in thinking that she would be like a big star. And then they kind of end up using her in kind of a gross way. And, during the cuckold porn, all the guys, while having sex with the guy's girl, like they have to make fun of the guy, and everybody's just like, oh, look at you, your wiener's small and you smell bad. Which they call him Stinky, like all throughout this. And it's very funny. But when it comes to Tom doing it, like it gets really like personal, and it like all of his real emotions and real feelings about everything we've seen in the previous 90 minutes come out. And it's such a crazy and like emotional sequence, like something I was definitely not expecting in the first couple minutes when this was like a funny, goofy bukkake movie, So I like that's kind of what culminates and kind of triggers the end of this movie. But I don't know. I love this movie. Well, I guess we'll talk about the ins and outs, but I've talked enough. What do you think about this movie, Jackson, and these crazy switch ups between funny and very sad?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's very like it's another movie that like handles like very troubling and disturbing subject matter with a lot of with a very delicate touch, and it has just so many funny lines in it. Like the one I always like remember, which I still kind of quote this like on a pretty regular basis, when like Steve Driver's dad goes to him, he's like, "Son, you're not even well hung," you know, like, when he's like telling him about being a porn star. And you're just, it's like the whole thing of like his dad like seeing his dick and then like telling him his like dick isn't big enough to do porn. It's just, I find it absolutely hysterical. I mean, it's incredibly sad, and like the whole thing just feels like a look into this like nightmare world that it's like you'd never want to be in the same room as any of these people. But yeah, I mean, I remember like reading about the story, and because I think it was in the LA Weekly or whatever, where it was like, oh, this like porn star killed this other guy. Yeah, I mean, it's like the irony is like he's not even a porn star. It's like he's like a porn anti-star. It's like, I mean, there's an LA Weekly article that basically said these guys, they would like film them with like where you wouldn't even see their faces in it, and it's like they do these scenes for like like $25 or something, and you're just like, you like look at it and you're just like, who does this attract? Like, God, like what a like hellish fucking idea, and like how disturbing. And I mean, it's like you just look at it, you're like, you cannot be in a good place mentally to be making a decision like that, and
these guys are not like your Ron Jeremys or your Peter Norths. Like these are guys who like their videos would have shown up on like Style Project or eFucked or like those like gross websites, like the real horrible porn websites.
Well, yeah, it's like, it feels like, I mean, I remember like I'm trying to remember what the hell it was like. There was like one that was like so fucked up, like you just like wouldn't even go to the link on it. I can't remember what the hell the name was of it, but it was like, I don't know, 15 years ago or whatever, but people were like, oh, this was like the final boss of porn sites or something. But it's like they have stuff that would show up there where it's like you would probably like play this to people to like make them puke or just be like, disgusted out of your mind. So, I remember like being really interested in like all the like racist comments too that they like make, and like the director in that David Arquette plays like a porn director in this, and he says some like just like incredibly racist stuff, and like the real guy it's based on, I know for a fact, like was saying that to the real actor playing Tom, or like the guy Tom Dong was based off of. And I mean, it's just like that era, it's like people kind of forget how recent it was and like just how like prevalent in the culture it was. It's kind of incredible. So, but yeah, I mean, it's, it ends in this, it's another movie that ends in this like kind of like dark wish fulfillment way, where it's like they ultimately like kind of achieve their dream in this very fucked up like Faustian way. And yeah, it's a movie that really stuck with me. And it's just the comedy of it is great, and it's like the I mean, I love that you pointed out that cuckold scene. I mean, it's like just completely insane. And
it's got like the vibes. I mean, not to keep comparing this to Boogie Nights, but like that part in Boogie Nights where like everything bad is happening, like Roller Girls in the limo, and like Dirk Diggler's in the car whacking off for that other guy and he gets beat up. Like the cuckold scene in this feels like that. And basically this movie is like, has that energy kind of all through it, but a little bit, but like funnier, but like,
well, yeah, I mean,
just that anxiety.
No, exactly. I mean, it's sort of like that section of Boogie Nights, kind of done for like the entire film almost. And, I mean, Luke, the director, told me, he was like, he's like, this movie's like if Boogie Nights went on 5 years longer. Because like this is a lot closer to what that world is like. And I've met, a handful of like people who've like been in porn, and like it's like not a good thing, like a lot of them are like not happy with it. And, I mean, it's a very dark world. And
especially at this point, this is like 2005, 2010, around there. And like, that was like the floor fell out of like, porn, like Vivid Video making like $4 million movies, and like Jenna Jameson being on like the E! Network every week. It was like, the floor, because of the internet, the floor fell out of that. And like, it was a gross time for pornography.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And I mean, it's just like you see, all these, it's really interesting when like a movie is like this brave to kind of get into these like disturbing sort of like subcultures of something. And then do them like very accurately. Cause Luke told me about some of the, he went and talked to a bunch of these people who'd like made these movies, and they said like, this is so much more accurate than Boogie Nights. Like, this is what it's like really like. And I feel like it's like, if you watch this, like you would just never in a million years want to enter into that field. But I mean, for me, it's like the bigger takeaway I've had is just like how well done the drama and comedy, and how good the acting is, and the camera work, and the scene on the cliffside near the end is like phenomenal. And it's like, because I remember watching it, I was like, how the fuck did he pull that off? And there's like a character falls off a cliff, and it was like part of it was taken from like real news footage. And you see it, and you're just like, Jesus, like that. Because like when you're like, how did they pull that off? And then you find out, and you're like, whoa, damn, dude. Like it's a movie that's really stuck with me. But yeah, I'm pretty thrilled that you enjoyed it as much as I did. It's interesting too, because it was something like when I watched it, I just was like, oh, this is going to be like a huge movie. And, I mean, I know it's like, it's got a little bit of a cult following, but it deserves to have a bigger one. And that's a big part of why I chose it today. Cause I was just like, God, I've been like such a champion of this movie for years. And, I hope everyone goes and watches it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's perfect for the junk food dinner crowd.
I think so. Yeah. I think so. I think the kids will like it if they watch it. And yeah, it's like you said, it really, I mean, that ending is like harrowing, because yeah, they do cut to that news footage, and like, I kind of vaguely remember this happening. Like, it was like kind of a jokey meme thing in the news. Like, I think Gawker like wrote some stuff making fun of like this thing when it happened, and stuff like that. But like, I didn't really remember. So like, I was like, it's a little jarring at the end when you get to that news footage, and you're like, wait, what are they doing? Like, and then you kind of piece it together and go, oh, I bet that's the real thing.
Yeah.
And which it is. And it's like, it's harrowing. Cause yeah, like, to totally spoil the movie now, like he kills some people. He kind of gets unhinged. He does some murders, and there's this very like sad scene where he's in his car, like calling up the people he's murdered to talk to them, because he either is just kind of mentally not there to know what he has done, or just out of like complete grief and remorse, calls them to talk to them. And then the cops catch up with him, and then he jumps off the cliff to evade them. And yeah, they cut to the real footage, which I think is like from like KTLA or something. And yeah, it's stark. It is a stark ending to an otherwise, I was going to say an otherwise funny movie, but the movie is very funny, but as we've talked about, it's also that stark anxiety runs through the whole thing. So it is, I guess it is the natural end to it, but
yeah. Well, I like when it's, I mean, like the thing with Boogie Nights is it's like they don't give you like any kind of like a real window into what these people's lives are going to turn into, and it's like, I remember there was like a porn actor from the 70s who shall go unnamed, that, was like working like the deli at like Ralph's or something. And like one of my friends who had watched that stuff was like, oh yeah, this guy was like in all these like pornos in the 70s. And now he's like, the dude cutting your sandwiches behind the counter, and you're like, and like the guy's like in his 70s, and he's like, you're just like, oh, like, geez, like it's certainly like nothing wrong with that job, but you look at it, you're like, man, like it's a pretty bad horse to bet on. But yeah, I mean, I like these kind of things that like take a darker, honest and unflinching look at some industries where they might like kind of gloss over that stuff.
Yeah. It's I like subcultures like that. Like I think porn and wrestling are pretty similar.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, wrestling is like almost as dark. It's like you see all the things on Dark Side of the Ring and you're just like, Jesus, like this is like these poor fucking people, man. But yeah, it's one I implore everyone on the junk foods to check out, and I hope people watch it.
I agree. Before we wrap it up, I do want to mention like that the loneliness that they like. I don't know how much like research they did into Steve Driver or anything, or how much of this is like
a lot.
Okay,
quite a bit.
Well, then,
yeah, I mean, they got, I mean, I don't know if this is public, but I don't think Luke would mind me saying this, but like Luke actually like got access to his suicide note, and was like one of the only people who had read that. And it was, it was like 17 pages, I think. And just kind of like a lot of mad ramblings, but yeah, I mean, he did a shitload of research on it.
Okay. Cause like the loneliness that they put into Steve in this, I think is like really like, feels very real. Like you can tell that he's like the way that he just latches on to Tom Dong, which is a funny name.
Yeah.
Like you can like the loneliness is like just oozing off of him, and the way that like, like when he's making that first speech about like his destiny, like the fact that he like wants to become a big porn star so that he can get a girlfriend is like just like such a like sad, like boyish, naive, like lonely thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then later on when he's like kind of he's like thinking about like at the very end, like all the ways that he went wrong and like everything he wanted to do with Tom and stuff. It's like he has that vision that we're shown visually of like what he wanted his life to turn out like instead of what it did turn out like. And he's got that girlfriend that he always wanted. And like his girlfriend is like kissing him and Tom's there cheering him on. And then his girlfriend is also kissing Tom. And it's like, it comes off as like, just like a very like asexual thing, kind of like, it's not necessarily that he would want to be in this like poly situation with Tom, but it's like kissing. I don't know. Like,
yeah, no,
like,
exactly. It's like there was sort of there were some theories that he was like closeted, Steve Driver. And it kind of does line up with that. 'Cause it's like such a sort of, it's like someone having like an idea about this thing without ever having actually done it. I guess it speaks to that. And it's like, yeah, I mean, it's super sad.
Yeah. Like you could read it that maybe he did like was closeted and attracted to Tom, but like I felt that it read more like, yeah, like he just never had a friend or a girlfriend. So he didn't quite understand that maybe your friend shouldn't be kissing your girlfriend. Like he was just like so happy to have both that it was like, whatever's good, like that's
totally.
So yeah, so
it's it's like a very warped, like broken person where it's like you kind of see these things that like people settle for in life where you're like, what? Like you're okay with that? Like that's because I've seen so many people where I like hear these things that like come out of their mouth and you're like what? Like like you're like, if you said this about like if you heard that your friend was doing this, you'd be like mortified, but they're like, oh, it's fine. It's because it's me, and it's very depressing and sad.
Yeah. And then to end this on a happier note, I did want to mention that I'm so happy that Monster Hands was a real life thing that Steve did.
Yes.
Because in the movie, he likes to do this thing during his sex scenes where he is suddenly wearing monster hands, like werewolf gloves. And he starts screaming, monster hands. And that was a real life thing that he tried to do. I don't know if it made it into any of his movies. I'm going to watch a few to find out. But it's so funny. Monster hands.
No, I know. And it's like, because I'm like, did he make that up? And then it was like, oh no, it's totally real. And you're like, wait, you just think about it. Because like you see a lot of people, I mean, I kind of apply this to the film industry too, where it's like, there's kind of like this odd group where it's like, you see like the hierarchy of like people at these like various levels where you're like, oh, this person's, like they make cool indie stuff, or this person's like a huge studio director, or like this is like a TV person. And then it's like you start getting into these other kind of like weirder, more desperate areas. And it's like, I won't name any names, but you start seeing some of these people where you're like, oh, you're like 45 years old and you're like trying to play like a high schooler or like a college student. And it's like, it just gets into this kind of like strange thing where you're like, this is weird. Like, why are you doing this? It's like this, it's like there's sort of a dishonesty to a lot of that stuff that is pretty sad, and it's something I think kind of applies to a lot of the film industry too. But it's a movie that hits all that stuff quite nicely.
Yeah. On that note, it does feel like a lot of this, especially near the beginning, does feel, I mean, it's weird saying metaphorical for mainstream Hollywood since it's sort of the same process, but it does, like, a lot of the stuff that Tom and Steve go through, like in auditions and casting, feels like it's sort of allegorical for the sort of grinder that probably is auditioning and stuff for like more mainstream things, like the abuse that they have to go through, the racism that they endure, like to try
absolutely.
to get cast. Like, so I like that stuff as well. But but I think that I believe wraps it up for Mope. A movie everybody should go see, unless you have anything else you wanted to mention on it.
No. Check it out on all the streaming sites like Tubi and Amazon and wherever you can. But yeah, it gets a very high recommendation from me.
Yep, same. On that note, I guess that wraps it up. Oh, actually, let me mention what we're doing next week. Next week, Happy New Year continues. We're doing Knockouts from 1992. Directed by John T-Bone, probably not a real name. And this is a movie Sean picked. It looks to be about wrestling ladies who wear bikinis, so it's probably a good movie.
Sounds good.
And then in 2 weeks, we're doing a couple of things, but we're not doing the Axel Braun Captain America XXX parody. We said that we were a couple of weeks ago. I was going to pick it, but I watched it and there's like 5 minutes of plot and the rest is just porn. I thought that there would be more from the esteemed Axel Braun, but I was wrong. So we're going to do Let My Puppets Come instead.
Oh, what a title.
So that's what we're doing in the next couple of weeks. And In the meantime, thank you, Jackson, for joining us. Where can the kids keep up with your work? Where can they buy Beyond the Gates on Blu-ray? Things like that.
It's on Shout Factory. It's still available. I think I don't know if we're working on a 4K of it right now, and then the new one will hopefully be done this calendar year of 2025. So there will finally be another thing out there. But yeah, and then they can follow me at Mr. Jackson Stewart on Instagram, or I still got a Facebook, so that's good too. But yeah, one of those.
Okay, perfect. The kids, as always, can follow us. The Junk Food Dinners. We're on Instagram, I think. We're on Twitter, probably, but mostly we're on Discord. Mostly we're on Facebook, facebook.com/junkfooddinner. Mostly we're on Patreon, patreon.com/junkfooddinner. If you go there and donate a couple of dollars to us, you can hear over 100 bonus episodes, one of which features me interviewing Corey Feldman, as we talked about earlier. It's secret. Listen to every bonus episode and you'll find it. And yeah, find us in the Discord, all that kind of stuff. Give us a voicemail at, I don't know the number offhand, 347-746-JUNK.
Yeah, 746-JUNK, baby.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a couple of weeks. 347-746-5865. Give us a call. So until next week, this is Parker for Hatless Jackson saying thanks for having fun.